Welcome to the Intuitive Reader Certification course. This course is designed to help you develop your intuition. The beauty of this course is that it's a transmission, and although you are getting loads and loads of information, the gem in the course is the vibration that is actually being emitted to you. What essentially happens is that your being learns to vibrate in new ways. And therefore, the energetic abilities that you already possess become activated and become amplified in the process. I'm not here to give you your intuition. You already have an intuition because that's what it means to be a human being. If you're a human being, you are born with this energetic ability. But for most people, it gets covered. It gets lost somewhere in the mix because we go through trauma and we receive all kinds of programming. So this course is designed to break through all of that and to reconnect you with the core of your true self so that you can function with your intuitive power that can guide your entire life, give you back your discernment, and give you the path to your own self-fulfillment and happiness. The way that this course is designed and progresses is very specific. We start with the laws and principles. What do I mean by the laws and principles? When you look out the window and you look at nature, nature functions according to patterns. Now, I want to say it's always predictable, but I don't know that it's so much predictable. It's just that nature understands its own purpose in a way, right? Different aspects of nature understand its own purpose. And in the same way as a human being, you have nature. There is a way to be natural as a human being. The laws and principles have to do with the understanding of the human being as both a physical and energetic being, and what is natural to our nature. The laws and principles have to do with coming out of man-made concepts of ideas and precepts as to how to be and becoming oneself. The laws and principles of how nature functions help us to connect with our true nature and also become a powerful foundation from which one can interpret the information or energy and provide a context for which to provide or deliver powerful spiritual counseling. Some of the principles that we cover in this course include energy, dimensions, and planes, human completion, the chakras and the development of human character, the principles of natural healing, including the natural healing cycle, the divine masculine and feminine, sacred sexuality, unconditional love, consciousness, 5-element theory, concepts of good and evil and light and dark, the third eye, and the higher self. After we learn the principles and gain the foundation for all reading, we go on to understand what an accurate reading is. And then, before we even practice reading, we learn about the preparation and protection in order to read. We learn about how to invoke cosmic energy and cosmic mind, and about something called sincerity training that takes us into the space of the heart consistently. We also learn about energetic ceremony, how to invite spirits and how to disinvite spirits, or invite energy or disinvite it, so that we can control our auric field. We also learn the art of gumchak, which is to become unresponsive to stimulus. Since there's stimulation all around us trying to steal our attention, it's very important to know how to come back to one's center. From preparation and protection, we go on to energy sensitization training. Now, energy sensitization training has to do with developing the depth of your perception. the main energetic ability we need to develop in order to be good readers is the ability to perceive. And in order to perceive, we have to unnumb ourselves. We have to be unafraid of what we're perceiving. And so the sensitization process takes us through exercises around presence and exercises that allow us to ground into a safe space in order to feel everything, whether we like it or not, in our environment. The beauty of being able to perceive anything, whether you like it or not, is that it gives you back your sense of true discernment. Now we go from the energy sensitization stage to something that most courses on intuitive development do not cover, which is the ability to transmute energy, which has a more shamanic quality to it. So in this course, you're not just learning to perceive energy, you're also going to learn how to change it. In energy sensitization training, you're basically learning how to grow your sensitivity. It's the equivalent of becoming like a large and strong tree. So a lot of people, when they think of sensitivity, they think sensitivity is a bad thing, that it's a weakness, but they're thinking about a small tree that doesn't have deep roots. But small trees that don't have deep roots aren't actually sensitive. They just get affected easily by the weather. But a large tree has a lot of branches, so it has a lot to feel with. Yet, when the storms come, because the roots are deep, it doesn't get torn from its place or torn from the ground. It's very strong. So through energy sensitization training, you're learning the ability to both become sensitive and grounded. And this is very important because we want to train ourselves to be able to perceive all types of energy, whether we like it or not. By perceiving all types of energy, we gain the power and the courage to take back our discernment and to know the truth. Now, in addition to energy sensitization training and presence training, we learn about the clairsenses. You learn about the clairsenses in order to understand yourself and your abilities and which ones you reflect, how your brain works in terms of perception the best. We also explore extrasensory perception training and something called light particle meditation that takes us into the experience of source energy so that we have a reference point from which to connect with universal energy or universal light in order to charge ourselves whenever we are wanting to read and to give power to us to be able to perceive the truth. Now, what sets this course apart from other courses is that we also go into energy alchemizing and transformation, which has a more shamanic quality to it. So we're not just learning to perceive, we're learning to change the energy. And in this aspect, you will experience a pineal gland activation. You will learn about a process called emotion mapping and experience it. You will come to learn how to work with pain and how to change it, and the true meaning of the pain body and the messages that it is trying to emit to us. And you will learn about manifestation, constructing visions, intentions, and goals, and how to use manifestation as a principle in order to direct outcomes of specific situations. After we learn about alchemizing energy, that is when we finally go into listening to the guides. People always ask me, why do we do listening to the guides towards the second half of the course? And I always tell them, because without understanding how to protect yourself and to prepare yourself, and without understanding how to transmute energy, you're not really ready to listen. And it would be premature to throw you into getting messages if you're not ready to receive them. All kinds of things would go wrong. So by the time you're listening to your guides, you're already very strong and your mind is open and you know how to receive. Now, from there, we discuss a myriad of topics, including hypnosis, past life regression, out-of-body experiences, channeling and mediumship, earth cycles, astrology, for example. And the reason we go into topics is not because this is a course in any of those things, but it's simply to distinguish your intuition or the purpose of your psychic senses from these things, so that you're very clear on what you're doing. Finally, you're going to learn about universal symbols, your dreams, messages, and how to use the cards. There are a few things in terms of semantics that you should understand about this course, which is that I give homework. So in order to develop your intuition, you have to practice. If you don't practice, it will still develop, but not nearly as powerfully as when you put this into practice. So through even the principal part of the course, you want to practice so that when you finally get to the end and you're ready to do the practicum, where you're introduced to actual live readings, you feel like you can truly do it. In the Q&A, you'll have an opportunity to bring any question or concern you have from the material or things that you're experiencing in your developmental process and ask about them. It is a context in which I can do quick readings for a lot of people instead of having to do them individually at a high price to aid in your development. These Q&As are offered bi-weekly. An email is regularly sent out to remind everyone about the date and time ahead of the schedule. So be sure to look out for those emails. Finally, if during the course there's something that you're moving through that is of concern to you, you can always reach out to me, reach out to my team at contact@sedonahealingarts.com. We will make sure to answer your emails as best that we can and try to support you as best we can through the healing process.